I love having, I mean, my house isn't exactly the way I want it, but, you know, I grew up in a house that was very sparse. Like, maybe what I'm going through is just a reaction. It's like my parents, everything was very bare and simple. Like, they had very modern furniture, part of which my father made all the time. I mean, he put together things, but they were really nice. And I didn't grow up with traditional furniture or houses. And everything was so empty, and I do like that feeling, although for me, I look at my things and I just think that that's who I am. You know, I'm not my parents. You know, I'm who I am, and I love the things that I love. I love both.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Except, you know, the funny thing is that my father's become more like me. His house is not sparse anymore. He's working on it. He has this goal to get his house really flat. And, it's harder for him now, but he's been working on it, especially papers. Yeah, you can't save papers. That's the thing. Oh boy, that gets to be a big job to save papers and stuff.
Do you feel complete now with victories, with winning?
Well, talking about it right now, yes, but I don't ever feel totally complete with. I mean, I think there's more victories to be said. I just don't know. But for now, I think that's a lot.
Okay.
Just yes.
Good. Do you feel any different from when we started doing this with Bayard and now?
Yes, and I think it's good to not always talk about what is a problem, like to cure. It's good to consolidate the things that I have won at or cleared. I remember my old therapist used to talk about that. She said, you not only have to cure things or, you know, look at your issues, you also have to assimilate them, like, you know, go over them and make them real for you, concrete, so that you don't go backwards. I really loved her, although at the time, I suppose I was a bit harried and it was hard to afford going to her, but she was always really great. I was glad I went to her instead of somebody else. That was when I was in my 20s.
What I'm thinking right now and what I feel is that talking about victories made me more aware of them. Because usually we talk about what's wrong with us and the problem we have and what we want to cure. And we never talk about when instances when we won. And that's very important because it makes you aware that you did something good.
Right.
So that's the difference for me since we started this and now. And it is good, it feels good.
That's right. I don't know if people realize how uplifting connecting to the heart, like I call it the harmonic, but basically doing IMMUNICS, because as soon as I connect, that feeling that you were talking about before of just the whole body sort of opening up and being lighter, and
yes,
like the whole core of my being just gets clearer and lighter, and it feels easier to breathe, and it feels easier to think.
Yes.
I think the blood pressure goes down.
And there's more clarity.
Yes.
You know, if you think about people you meet every day, when you start talking, they're always complaining about something. It could be the weather, it could be the government, but there's always something to complain about. It never happened to me to meet someone who started to tell me how he or she was grateful about something. And so I want to do that. Maybe they will check me into a learning bin, but I want to start talking to people. To say people, oh, you know, today I'm very grateful for this and for that. And look, what beautiful rainy days, don't you like it? It's sister rain coming down and things like that. No, seriously, I want to start doing that.
It's excellent because I learned a long time ago, this is before IMMUNICS and everything else, that, you know, when people ask you how you are, it changed my state to not launch into, you know, anything other than I'm fine, I'm feeling really good. You know? That changed my state just right there, saying that instead of, you know, trying to tell them, you know, about something that happened to me or whatever, and I keep trying to tell my dad that, you know, like he launches into these things, and I go, come on, Dad.
Yeah,
you know,
happens all the time.
Gets things and everything.
Either a person says fine not to talk about herself or himself, or they start telling the most terrible things, and you say, oh my God, why did I ask? You know,
well,
it's incredible.
I think that I also learned that you can make something negative your mantra, or I don't know whose words those were, but anyway, you know, if you say it often enough, it becomes a reality.
Yes.
So why say things that you don't want to happen? That's terrible, you know. You don't concentrate on anything like that.
Because you attract what you're focusing on, you know.
You're hard to get it. Whoops.
I remember my sister told me, Rob, the nightmare has started again. It's like the odd time. I'm again in the hospital, and I'm going to rehab in that awful place, which was another rehab center. And I told her, why did you think this happened to you? I don't know, because I'm very unlucky. And I said, I have another idea. I think you have to understand something from this experience of being sick in a hospital and being among other people, you know, and change something in yourself. And she got angry at me, and I knew she would, but it's the truth. You know, that's what I think.
Well, I think it's good to remind people that they're being negative and pop them out of their, you know, whatever they're in. Change the energy, you know. And I used to, like Mies would say, like my brothers and sisters at various times would say, well, I think I'm getting sick, and I'd say, well, no, you're not. Just remove it, you know. And they do get sick always, but that's what you have to. You can't think, oh, I'm going to just succumb to this now. You want to be like, you know, supporting yourself.
Yes. And people traumatize themselves doing that all the time.
That's right. That's right. And other people, you know, you can traumatize. I mean, you can do things to other people while you're, you know, taking yourself down there.
Yeah.
So now, in summary.
Yes.
So you started out talking about and testing your things that are winning.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And can you summarize what you learned from that?
Let's see.
Ross, you want to go first?
Okay. I learned, I told you before, but I learned that I usually put my attention on negative things and what I did wrong, and when I was defeated and things like that. Talking about incidents when I won, is very good because it changes my energy, and it made me aware that I won, and I'm still winning, and I can win in the future.
Right.
That's very important to me, what I learned.
Right. I think for me, I just remind myself that I can either choose to be negative and not win, or in a state, or I can change my state and use IMMUNICS to change that, and also just learn how to be more than I was before, rather than, it seems to me like if you're negative, you're making yourself less than you can be.
Yes, absolutely.
And
you're closing doors.
That's right. And never hurts to blow your own horn, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good. Let's count our blessings. It's good.
Yep.
Well, to put it another way, if you don't blow your own horn, that you're the only one who's ever going to blow it, because it's your horn,
Yes.
Well, since we're the only ones here, I'm the only one here. I really think about that a lot. Like, is this all just my choice? Really, this is my choice. As even my sister was saying, she said, if you're overweight, that's your choice, and it's like, okay, that's true.
Okay, so that's, and how did you get to gratitude?
Gratitude?
You were talking about gratitude when I came in. Ross, do you recall how that it evolved?
Well, I think if we're more positive about everything and we're winning, we are more just more grateful about everything that we have. If we're truly winning, not just like, okay, we have money or something like that, but if we're really making strides in our spiritual being, then we're automatically going to be pretty grateful for the changes.
Yeah, I think it's very important to be grateful. If you find, 2 cents on the street, be grateful. It's not much, okay, but it's money. So you found money. Great! I found money today. Thank you. How much did you find? It doesn't matter.
10 cents.
It's money. It's money. Really.
Well, actually, like when I find money, I say, well, I manifested something now. How attached am I to manifesting more than this penny?
I have to tell you, I just have to share a little story with you.
Okay.
Long ago, and this was when our business began to make a lot of money. So we had plenty of money. And we were training people in manifesting, the law of attraction, bringing money to us. And that was working, and they were attracting more money. Anyway, as the story goes, during this period of time, one day, I volunteered. The office manager told me she was going to the post office, and I said, oh, well, I'm going right there, so I have my bike, and I'll just run over there, and save her the time she was doing 20 things. So I said, well, I'll do this errand for you. I'll go to the post office. And she gave me all these letters and package and so on I had to mail, and I had to go to the window and buy the postage, and some of it had to be weighed and so on. And I get there, and I was trying to get there before noon because there wouldn't be a line if I got there before noon, but I didn't make it, so I got there just at noon, and there was a small line. It was like 6 or 8 people in front of me, which just wasn't much for there. It was going to be fast, I'm standing there, and I realized I had run out of the place too fast, and I forgot to bring my money.
Uh-oh.
And I usually, if you remember, Franny, I always carried, I just kept my money loose, like folded up with my credit cards inside of it. That's how I carried my...
I know, in your pocket.
Yeah, I just folded my money around my credit cards, and I didn't use a wallet. I never used a wallet. I thought I was in the mafia or something, So I get to I'm standing there, and I reached in there, and I had nothing. There was nothing there, And I looked down. I said, oh no, I'm going to have to go back, and when I come back here, there's going to be a 30-person line, and I was almost at the window, and I looked down on the floor, and there's a $20 bill on the ground.
Wow.
Ooh.
So I picked up the $20 bill. Of course, the first thought I had was, well, somebody just dropped this, and the right thing to do is return it. And I held the real weirdest thing. I held this thing up and I said, is anybody missing $20? And they all looked at me like I was crazy. Like it just made them suspicious. They thought I was trying to con them or something. Nobody wanted the $20 bill. So I went up and paid for the stuff and left, And I used to find money all the time, but that was really the only time that I ever felt like it really came in handy, because every other time that I would find money, I would think, yeah, but you're not supposed to be finding money on the ground. You're supposed to be making money with your work.
Hey, you can find some more along the street. I was going to the airport once, and I stopped at this light, and I got out of the car, and everybody's saying, well, why are you getting out of the car? And I went and I picked up the money on the street, and there was like $1 over here, and 50 cents over there, and I got in the car and said, oh, well, I just saw some money on the side of the road.
Changing your parking.
It did, actually. It was like $1.50. So, well, I just got to mention to you about that, that post office across the street.
Yeah.
There was a guy in there. His name was Joe Schmuck. I always thought that was like, I would not want to spend my life with that name. He had something to...
She's talking about the post office where that's the one I was just telling you about.
Yeah, it was a nice old post office.
It was around the corner from our loft where we worked and lived.
I always feel like it's a win for Bayard when, like, he took some stuff for me now, like to the post office. I gave him a card to, he used his debit card or something like that, and he actually printed the postage and everything, because Bayard doesn't usually do stuff like that. So it was like, every time he does something like that, it's a big win for him. Like it's like a new experience, and he's what, 68, and he's still learning how to do all these things that normally people do all the time. I think it's always great.
Yeah.
Well, now to sum this up.
Yes.
You spent this session, presumably, talking about how you've been winning.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find any places in your winning behaviors where part of the behavior wasn't there or was you can test this. In my winning behaviors, are there some aspects of the winning behavior that are still absent or missing? Or are there losing behaviors mixed in with that winning behavior? Whatever.
Well, I test yes. And Rosella had me install the awareness of, to recognize certain things. I mean, there's always something to add.
I have the quintessential question about winning and losing behaviors to ask using nutrients. And what I want you to ask is, in the last meal that I ate, were there any unnecessary nutrients?
You mean each one of us about ourselves?
Yes.
Right? I mean, not you.
Were there any unnecessary?
Yes.
Again, no.
Okay. So that's important. Because they're nutrients, they just may not be necessary. And unnecessary nutrients make problems.
Right.
In the meal that I ate last, did I eat anything that was producing the reverse effect from what I wanted to get from the meal?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. This movie was given to you by HUM, the World Ministry of IMMUNICS, which enables you to cure medically incurable diseases. We also produce the Cure Drive in the iCollege of IMMUNICS. This is the home page. And as you see here, the movie that starts playing automatically when the page opens is a 3-hour tutorial film, which underneath it is the beginning of a series of movies. If you click on these links, you go to another movie that's a continuation of the tutorial, showing different aspects of the things that people need to get into when they cure things. The movie shows many people curing things. You'll find complete cure tutorials on the home page. Under the group at the top is another, this is a video and text tutorial, and if you click on the link, you'll see it has 10 lessons, and you can click on each lesson and you'll see that the lessons are movies interspersed with explanations. And if you continue scrolling down the home page, you'll find a huge bank of movies of people curing things. Here's one of someone curing multiple sclerosis that you can click on and these play. Hopefully this one will play in a moment. There it is. So that woman cured PPMS and MS. Here you'll find people from every continent: Europe, the US, Asia, Canada. This woman cured shingles, and in this particular movie that's what she's demonstrating. And at the top of the home page you will find links to the cure meetings that we have every week. 9 p.m. New York time, Rome time 8 p.m. Underneath the cure meetings you'll find a link to Friend Me. It's actually Byard. I'm Byard speaking to you on Facebook, and you'll meet many people who are my Facebook friends there who have cured various diseases. Many of us have cured herpes, which is what I cured. Also there, if you have trouble getting signals, there is a whole bank of movies that focus on people who are just starting to get their first signals. Many of these people went on to bigger and better things, and you see them in other movies. But these are movies about their signals, how they got their first signals. At the very top of the home page, you will find above the masthead a link to the cure shows. And we documented people curing things on, we did this on the phone. There are shows on about 75 diseases, and the diseases are listed alphabetically, as you can see. You actually hear the people curing these diseases during these shows. That's post-traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the catastrophe. We have a show on that, and fever, somebody curing the fever, several people curing fibromyalgia, flu. We had a flu hotline, and there are many people. These people are actually curing flu, and the flu stops. It clears up during the 15 or 20 minutes of the call. It doesn't take long to cure the flu. Over here you have paralysis, parasitic parenting, Parkinson's disease. When you cure something, please join your voice with the voices of the many people who came before you by reporting your cure in our poll, which you can do right above the tally of the cures that people have reported is here at the top. And as you can see, there's a little link here. And if you click on that, you will come to a form that enables you to report your cure. This page is the hub of the Web College. And as you can see, there are detailed lessons on how to remove viruses, cure cancer. Here's a movie on the right here of a doctor who actually years ago cured the flu on camera. You'll notice that skill 1 in the hierarchy of skills is cure physical diseases. That's actually the easiest thing with this particular approach. And I've put a great many things in the hierarchy of skills that relate to curing physical diseases, such as ending trauma, working on your organs. Now, if we go into the Recode Your DNA, there are 10 applications or 11 applications, and Recode Your DNA is one of them. If we go inside here, what we see is a page with a huge amount of links. And then if we look at the links on the right, after the ones on the left which prepare you, these are the actual lessons. And you can see some of them. It might be hard for some people to see why blind installation procedure is related to recoding your DNA. And this is why we've put it in this application, so that it relates it in your mind. This is the reason the Web College is organized the way it is to relate things for you in your mind. And obviously there are a huge number of things, like if you're curing cancer or herpes or any medically incurable disease, it's obvious that there are a great many things that you have to learn. And they're different for everybody. You do not have to learn everything that's listed here. And in fact, cure is instantaneous. And it's always unexpected how it will come. Like, watch these women. They're going to give you a perspective. This is a good way to conclude this little overview I'm giving you here. Say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay, both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
I feel clear.
Yeah, I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly.
Well, I mean, this would take a lot of backstory, but there are some decisions that my family's making that I now feel clear about.
Yes, because when you have that perspective from the 144th dimension,
Yeah.
you simply don't care about anything as much.
That's exactly it. But I don't care doesn't sound so good.
Well, see, that's right.
But it's it. That's really
not in effect.
When people hear we say we don't care, they go, "Well, God, that's sick," you know.
I know. It's a good thing.